Okay, hi, my name is Felicia Cunningham. I am in the DMV area, 47 years old, and I am in IT management and cybersecurity. Saw your advertisements online and I was wondering, what is this about? Is this something that could help me? Because at that particular time, I was dating and it just wasn't what I thought it was gonna be. I realized that I would meet men and we would have really great times. We would get along, but nothing would like really fit. And at that particular time, I was my thing was that I was always seen as, oh, you're real cool, you're one of the fellas, which I think is a good thing, but it is a bad thing too because I felt at that point I wasn't being taken seriously. So I did see a fit for me, so I went ahead and joined. When I saw the free program, I want to say maybe 2 weeks in, I was like, oh, this is for me. This is good stuff. This is good information. This is definitely for me. This is something that I want to explore, and I figured, you know what, yep, I have to do it. So like maybe 2 weeks in, I decided to go to the next level program. As I was going through the experience, one thing that I knew I wanted is that I knew I ultimately wanted to be married. I ultimately wanted that relationship, ultimately wanted to be married. And I was just wondering, what was going on with me that I couldn't get that. And we started the program early and we were going through, I'll never forget this. We were going through the connection killers and you asked me, well, what do you think your connection killers? And I sat there and said, I don't have any. And I remember that Brian said, like, no, I don't have any. I'm cool, I get along with men. We get along great. I don't have any connection killers. And I remember you saying, okay. But as I moved forward, I realized that I may not have some things that, in my personality that men find off-putting. I may not have that, but there were things I was doing internally that was killing connection. So I felt like I was self-sabotaging my own connection. So that was one of the things that I learned real early. And once I learned that early, I realized that I needed to dig into that and figure out why. Because once I fixed that, I could fix a whole lot and then notice a whole lot of other things that I may or may not do that cause, the issues that I was having in dating. Yeah, at this point now, with my dating experiences, I feel like now I'm being a little bit more intentional. Before I was just, meeting men and, seeing things. Yeah, I don't, not really my type, but I'll see where it goes, because, they always say, you have to come out of your box. You have to stay outside your box. Well, outside your box doesn't necessarily mean it was really random. It wasn't intentional. It wasn't anything, I just wanted to see where it goes and see. And now I'm very intentional with who I choose. I have boundaries. I know exactly what I want, and I want just that. If you can't provide me with just that, because it goes both ways, right? I'm going to be able to provide you what you want. You got to provide me what I want and need, mainly need than want. I'm a whole lot more intentional now. I set those boundaries and I communicate those boundaries and I communicate now, what works and what doesn't work. So as of lately, my experiences have been way different. I am getting the things that I need from the men that I'm dating. It's not like I'm dating a whole bunch. It's not even that either. But when I choose to go out and have a good time with someone, it's doing something that we both enjoy doing and we enjoy each other's company. And in that respect, we get to see, and that I can see where that goes. We can see where that leads us because now we're both, wanting to be there. So now it's been a whole lot better since I've set those proper boundaries in place. And I'm talking to someone that's very special to me right now, and we'll see how that goes. But we're exploring what it would look like being in a relationship at this point. My goal was a whole lot different in the beginning. In the beginning, is like, I just really want to be married. I'm tired of being single, and I want to be married. But now it's a little bit different. I still marriage is the ultimate goal for sure. But right now, I'm learning this new self that I have, through being in the program and through therapy. I want to say yes, I am a new person, and I have this new new outlook on dating and marriage and relationships. And, I was so hyper focused on just finding somebody and being married. And now I'm hyper focused on, finding my person and growing into this marriage, and growing into this committed relationship and then growing into a marriage where, we can be a healthy and be in a healthy environment. So that would be, for me, with all that I'm trying to do, I absolutely feel like support would be needed and necessary. Another thing I try to, one of the things that I used to say is like, I'm really busy and I'm too busy to date and I'm too busy to this and I'm too busy to that. But, it's really counterproductive to what I'm, trying to do in my relationship and personal life. So what I feel that I need is I need that guidance to say, hey, you can build a career, you can build a business, and you can date, and you can, you know, build a relationship that moves to marriage with the right person. And I feel like I do need support with that. It's about you. It's about you. And it will get heavy sometimes. It's like, wow, I do that. Or, wow, I didn't know. It gets really heavy at times. You're not going to come into the program and be like, well, what did he do? Well, what is this? How does this tell me how to manage when he does X, Y, and Z? No, it's you. It really is you. You're going to find out things about yourself that you didn't know were an issue. It may send you to therapy because you might have some deep-seated hurt or pain or concerns or fears that you never knew you had, and it comes out in your dating experiences. One of the things, I'll be transparent, one of the things I found out was that, I'll be 100% transparent, I'm attracted to narcissists. Why? Because I had narcissistic family members that I was used to dealing with all the time. So what would happen was, I would meet these narcissistic men, and when they get to doing what they're doing, I was ready to fight with them because I did that growing up with family members that were very narcissistic. There was a lot of argument. It was a very argumentative environment. So I would meet these men that were very narcissistic. And so when they would meet me and we realized that, hey, oh, she can deal with me and my stuff, and I could and I would. And it was like, to them, I match made in heaven. And I didn't know why I was meeting these crazy men and why we were just working. It's because I was addicted to the narcissistic behavior and I was able to deal with it and put it in its place. But what happened is that once you start setting the boundaries and the standards, and then you understanding what you want to know and what you really want in your relationship, it's a no now. I'm not doing that. Yeah, I could do that and I could straighten you out real quick. Real quick. I could shut it down and straighten you out real quick. But who wants to be in a relationship like that? So that is why I say it's about you. And that was a pill that I had to swallow. And I had to figure out, you know what? I like narcissism. I don't like it. Let's be clear. I don't like it, but I was tolerating it because I knew I could. And that's not ultimately what I want. So it's about you. You'll find some of these things out about yourself in this process. That's why I said, like, you know what? I learned some stuff about myself. That's the, you know what? I need to revisit this program and I need to revisit coaching because there's a whole lot here. It's a whole lot. And it's good, it's good and bad. I'm just not learning the bad stuff about me. I'm learning the good stuff about me that I need to like really cultivate and bring forth. That'll really help. And I feel like it'll help someone. It really will help someone because it's bad. I'm listening to people talk and I'm like, I can't even listen to some of the stuff these people are saying. When they get to talking about how bad it is out here and how bad that is, it's like, y'all, I can't do that with y'all. I can't. Because I know it's different and I know it's something better out there and I know I can get it and I've been seeing it and, I just know it's better. I can't listen to what's going on. There's a lot going on. I'm not. If I continue to listen to what they say, then I'm going to be just like them. And I can't do that. In the program, I realized I did need therapy on some things, And when I got to therapy, I stopped coaching. Well, I did that because I needed to focus on my therapy, but you can really do it in tandem, you know. It's you need both because my therapist will tell you in a heartbeat, you know, and you can find out all these things about yourself through the dating coaching, but then you'll find out where you need work in the therapy portion on the therapy side. And when you talk to your therapist is not going to talk to you about dating. They're going to talk to you about yourself and getting yourself in a position to date. And no, they don't. They're not one and the same. One is going to help you heal those hurts and those things that cause you to have those connection killers and things of that nature, and tap into your femininity and those things. And the coach is going to tell you how to tap into those things. So it's definitely two totally different programs, two totally different therapies, but they're both very much needed. And, you know, depending on where you are, doing things in tandem is the best option in my opinion because you're learning and you're growing, you're learning yourself and you're correcting yourself. My message to women out there who are considering um, on the fence, feel like I shouldn't have this problem. First of all, we all have this problem. If you look at the state of dating and relationships now, it's a whole mess. And it's not our fault, but it's a whole mess. Guidance is necessary. There's so much out there that's garbage that we're listening to. You know, social media is just, I mean, it's a lot of negativity surrounding dating at the moment. We need help and we need to start as women. We also, as women, don't like to ask for help and we feel like we're supposed to be able to do it all ourselves. And that's just not true. We do a lot. We carry a lot on our shoulders. We take care of family. We take care of, you know, each other. You know, we hold each other up. We go to jobs. We're disrespected at work. We're disrespected all over the place. Even just walking down the street, often we're disrespected. We're disrespected so many different places. You know, to have a space and a safe space for women to come together and talk about our dating issues and how to move forward and get over it is very, very important. That alone changes our perspective on how and who and how we date and the boundaries and things. So the program doesn't. It's not saying defeat. It's not saying I can't do this alone. It's saying it's better to do it with someone else because you get the support, you get, you know, you get the knowledge, you know, the things that, especially when it comes down to the things that you didn't know you did that you do. It's going to help you in different ways. That it's not going to help everyone the same way. And I know my experience is different from a lot of people's, and maybe the same, but I feel like my experiences were different. But it's absolutely something that you should more than consider. It's something that you should do. If what you want is an end goal of being in a healthy, committed relationship and marriage, this is something that you should absolutely do. So when I first started the program, my initial thought was, well, this isn't just going to help me with dating. It's going to help me with everything, you know, all everything. Because one of the first things we talked about outside of the connection killers was the standards and boundaries. So we talked about the connection killers for sure, but the standards and boundaries is what stuck with me the absolute most. And it absolutely helped me in my career quite a bit, studying for a very important certification. And I didn't pass the exam, which was very disheartening for me. And once going through the program again, I started going through it and we talked about the standards, the boundaries. I knew I wanted better for myself, not just in my relationships, but in my life. It prompted me to even go back and begin studying. It prompted me to do a lot of things. It sent me to therapy, prompted me for therapy, and it prompted me to study for this certification, which I ended up getting and was able to set some other boundaries at work because now it's get somebody else to do it because that is not what I came here to do. You know, and it helped me in my relationships because I'm not doing that in this relationship either. So it helped me all across the board, even with my family and my children and setting those boundaries. So it helped me in all aspects. It wasn't really just about dating for me, it just was helping me be a better woman. You'll get more out of it than a man. if that makes sense. You'll get out of it whatever you put into it. But if you go into it thinking, wow, this is really something that could help me across the board in my life, and it absolutely will.